It was these four words: seek alignment, not discipline. Those four words have changed basically my life. Let me tell you something. Something about me is that I've spent the better part of 4 years being what most would consider extremely disciplined. What does that mean? I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. I go to the gym for about 2 hours. I read my books, I read my Bible. I worked extremely hard. I did my job extremely well. I run my businesses extremely well. I did all the right things. I slept at the same time every day. I was into self-help, and trust me, those changed my life. Don't get me wrong, gang. I'm not discrediting any of those things because I never will, because they shaped who I was. But there was always something missing. And I really couldn't put my finger on it because I'd be disciplined in something and then I'd do it for a little bit. Then maybe I'd stop and then I'd continue doing something else. Or sometimes I'd add disciplines on top of disciplines, but it wasn't really going anywhere. I was getting healthier bit by bit. Sometimes I'll get healthier and sometimes I'll go back and notice myself straying off. And that was another thing too. I would do all these things, but I'd only do them for a short period of time. Maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, but I always go back to the baseline. I always found myself going back to my exact same habits. And maybe I'd pick up one habit here or there, and maybe I'd keep one, but I wasn't as consistent in keeping habits as I thought, and I knew that I could be. And I always ask myself, why? What is that missing piece? I'm a very hard worker. How come I don't feel fulfilled, and how come I'm not where I want to be in life? And I kept asking myself that question until I finally got the answer. Well, and it wasn't me. Trust me, it wasn't me. It was these four words: seek alignment, not discipline. Seek alignment, not discipline. You could be disciplined and be disciplined in the wrong things. And people don't talk about that. You could be disciplined in the wrong things. I was disciplined, but I had no direction. When you're disciplined, but you don't know what you're disciplined for, then you never know when you received it, or you'll never know when you're getting closer to it. So something will always be missing. My why wasn't strong enough, and I didn't attach to my day-to-day life. I wasn't really aligned with, for me, it was my higher self, the 2.0 version of myself, if you will. I was never really aligned with that version of myself. All I knew is that I need to get healthier, I need to get stronger, but I wasn't really connected to it. I wasn't really connected. I started waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Why am I waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Because I need to be disciplined. Was there a specific reason? Was 5 a specific time? No. I just made it up. And then when I wouldn't wake up at 5 a.m., I'd beat myself up about it. Same thing with my diet. I was on a very strict carnivore diet. And when I strayed away from it, I'd beat myself up. Why? Because I wasn't disciplined. But then what would happen is that I boxed myself up from enjoying life. I genuinely couldn't enjoy life anymore because I was so disciplined. I became so disciplined that I completely ignored being complete, being whole, enjoying what life has to offer, enjoying meals, enjoying waking up a little bit later because you had a late night. I completely ignored that aspect of life. Discipline almost ruined me. But now let's talk about the other side of the coin, alignment. When you're aligned, your discipline is a byproduct. So don't think that you should completely ignore discipline. No, I'm saying discipline comes after. Alignment comes first. If you're disciplined for no reason, you could be disciplined in the wrong things. But if you're aligned, your discipline is a byproduct of that. I know I said that kind of quickly, but replay it. When you're aligned with who you want to be, with who the best version of yourself is. And if you don't know who that is, you have to do some soul searching, my friend. Some soul searching is required. Because when you find that version of yourself, and it's by seeking that you find that version of yourself. When you look deep enough and you find it, you find him or you find her. Now imagine, what does that person do every single day? What kind of food do they eat? How do they speak? How do they dress? What kind of sentences are they using? What kind of sentences are they forming together with their words? How they handle certain situations. Ask yourself that question on a day-to-day basis. Get as specific as possible, because the more specific you get, the easier it will be to conceptualize and be. And then every single day strive to be that. What does that person do? And what does that person not do? What does that person avoid? What does that person like to do? What does that person work towards? What does that person read? What does that person not read? Does that person drink? Does he not drink? Does he go to parties? If he does go to parties, what kind of parties? Or does he go to more gatherings? What kind of gatherings does he go to? In certain situations, what does he do? When he's driving, how does he drive? How does she drive? What kind of friends does this person kind of want? Well, if you're the best version of yourself, what kind of friendships, what kind of surroundings would you want to have around yourself? What kind of people would you want to have around yourself? What kind of words? Do you want words of encouragement around you, or just words of detriment around you? Do you want more feminine energy, more positive masculine energy? What kind of energy do you want around you? What kind of people do you want to have around your circle? Ask yourself those questions and then strive every single day. And one thing, don't settle for less. Don't settle for less than you know that you could have. What you have in your mind should be limitless. And the world just has to catch up to that vision. But as soon as you limit yourself up here, you limit yourself out here every single time. This must be limitless every single day. This must be limitless. Only then will your reality be limitless. But you can only do that if you're aligned with something. For me, it's God. I'm going to be honest. Not everybody has a God. I mean, everybody has a God, but not everybody calls it God. But you decide what that is for you. Whether that's God, whether that's another version of yourself, whether it's the universe, whether it's a better version of yourself, whether it's somebody that you know that has everything that you've ever wanted and you want to be like him or you want to be like her. That's fine. Just take the best parts of them and apply that in your everyday life. And then when you have that, just be aligned. Ask yourself those questions. If you have to write those questions down, write those questions down. But then act in those ways. You're going to feel disconnected with yourself because you're not acting the way that you should. You feel like you're acting. You will feel like you're an actor in your own body. Guess what? You will be. It will feel like you will be. But it's not acting. It's becoming. But to become somebody that you've never been, you must do the things and say things you've never said before. That's what becoming means. It's normal. You're going to feel that way. The faster you can feel that way, the closer you are to your goals. The closer you are to that 2.0 version of yourself, the closer you are, the more aligned you will be. Because give it time. It's not going to be forever. Just give it time. And then what's going to happen? You will start becoming. You'll start seeing it. It'll start happening. That's when your life changes. That's when your reality changes. That's when things start to change. Don't seek discipline. You're looking at the wrong thing. Seek alignment. As a byproduct of alignment, then you'll be disciplined, because then you'll know exactly what you're being disciplined for. And that is way more important.